This is Keith Price's Curtain Call. This is Keith Price for Keith Price's Curtain Call, and I am at the Horton Foote, Centennial celebration of the celebrated playwright who, if you don't know who he is, you better get on the Google now while I'm talking to this man, Mr. Michael Wilson, who is, you are more than just a passionate fan of Mr. Horton Foote, from what I just gathered.
Well, Keith, I was very fortunate. As a young man in North Carolina, I went to UNC Chapel Hill, and right after I graduated, I went to this program where Horton Foote was speaking in my hometown, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, about his film and theatrical career. And of course, at this point, this man had written Tender Mercies and To Kill a Mockingbird, had won 2 Oscars and had plays on Broadway, off-Broadway, helped found the off-Broadway movement, in fact. And so I was so fortunate to form this connection with him that then became rekindled when I was working at the Alley Theater in Houston. And then as I grew up into being a director, I spent from 1997 until he passed away, 2009, 12 years, spending a lot of my time directing his work, a lot of them world premieres. And we did plays together in Houston, Hartford, Minneapolis, New York, Broadway, off-Broadway. He was a great teacher, a great friend, someone that was like a second father to me as well, a brother and a best friend. So it's a very personal journey, this production that we've just announced, and The Roads to Home, the play. And I'm delighted to be back at Primary Stages, where I had the great fortune of directing Estelle Parsons and Hallie Foote in The Day Emily Married in 2004. And then in 2007, we did Dividing the Estate, which would go on to garner Horton a Tony nomination, as well as Hallie for her performance as Mary Jo. And I haven't done one of Horton's plays with Primary Stages since 2007. So it's great to be back at a theater that's devoted to playwrights' work over a period of time and helping them develop a body of work. And they have an audience that really understands and appreciates deeply the stories, characters, and themes of Horton's plays.
I love that. Talking to Michael Wilson here at the Primary Stages Centennial celebration for Horton Foote. So there's a new play that's coming, or the reviving of a play here at Primary Stages, which is kind of interesting because they tend to only do new work as a rule. So it's kind of nice to see them breaking the rule for something so wonderful.
And, we had to have that conversation because that is their mission, world premieres. And, Horton directed Daisy's world premiere. And, of course, I directed the New York premieres of Day Emily Married and Dividing the Estate. But in this case, this year is the great year of Arthur Miller's Centennial, and we've got 2 wonderful revivals on Broadway, and I was able to direct Incident at Vichy off-Broadway at Signature with Richard Thomas. And Casey, Andrew, and I had this conversation about how are we as a New York theater community going to celebrate truly one of our great luminaries in the American theater. And, Cherry Lane was Edward Albee's first home, and Sam Shepard did so much work down there, and Lanford Wilson, and you would think that Horton would have been produced there. He's never been produced there. It's a stage that's perfect for his plays, and the idea that finally his play, The Roads to Home, that brought him back to New York after his artistic exile and is going to then take him home to the village where he lived for so many years on Horatio Street, just a few blocks away from where we are on Commerce Street. It's kind of kismet. It's perfect. And I think in that gorgeous Jewel Box Theater, audiences are going to have a very powerful experience with these characters and this interlocking play that unfolds over 4 years' time.
I love it. Michael Wilson with me here on The Curtain Call. And we were chit-chatting a little bit earlier. You're in a relationship for some 24 years. Is that correct?
Yes. And, it's funny. I met Horton before I met my partner. And my partner is a visual artist that his name is Jeff Cowie, and he went to RISD, and he started designing with me. And when I directed the world premiere of Death of Papa with Ellen Burstyn and Matthew Broderick, who's here today, my partner Jeff Cowie did the set. And he became as close a part of the Foote family as I did. And our most recent revival of The Trip to Bountiful with Miss Tyson and Vanessa Williams, who's here today. God bless her. And Cuba, he did the set for that as well, and just won an award for it in Los Angeles when it had its road tour there. So he'll be with me on this journey, and so that long collaboration continues.
What you mixing work and home? How you doing with all of that madness?
Well, it keeps you out of trouble.
Oh, you heard it here first. You heard that, Dale? That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm working right now so I can stay out of trouble. Oh, my God. Michael Wilson, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is so great. So now we can look forward to the new play this fall,
The Road
September.
to Home by Horton Foote, starring Tony-nominated Hallie Foote and Devin Abner, and others to be announced, and some really exciting actors I think are going to join them. So,
Well, then I will be looking forward to our next chat because I do everything I can with Primary Stages, so we'll have a chance to come out and talk. This is going to be great. So,
wait to see you on the carpet.
ow, how you doing? I got to get a tux now. You're making me work, Daddy. Ow. All right. See, this is what happens when they leave me alone too long. All right. We will